Tonight we are having steak and potatoes, and I have already washed my potatoes, and I am not baking my potatoes in the oven. Absolutely not. Now I will stab them because they deserve it, and then I'm gonna pop it into the microwave and push the potato button 3 times. Why 3 times? Because I have 3 potatoes. And if your microwave doesn't have a potato button, put them in for like, I don't know, 7 minutes. Typically I would do garlic butter steak bites in the air fryer. I'm not doing that tonight. I'm doing it on the stovetop because my air fryer is dirty. It's in the bottom of the sink and I'm not hand washing it right now. Sirloin steak. I don't really know steak very well. I don't make steak very often because historically we haven't been able to afford steak. So every now and again I buy steak. My husband's happy. My children like it. Everything's right with the world. I am going to chunk this up into small cube-ish size pieces and get rid of anything that looks too icky for me to want to consume. That's the litmus test here. My steak is de-icked, my steak is chunked, now it's time to season my steak, but first, wash your fucking hands. I'm going to drizzle my steak in just a little bit of olive oil, and you can use whatever seasonings you like. I like this buttery herb because we're going for a garlic and herb situation. Whatever you use, just make sure it has salt in it. And then I'm going to crack some fresh cracked black pepper. I feel like everybody has their own favorite steak seasonings. Use what you like. I'm gonna give it a toss, make sure everything is well coated. Add more if I need to. And I'm gonna let this hang out for a minute because the steak takes the least amount of time for everything that's cooking tonight. We are making baked potatoes in the microwave. I have broccoli I'm going to throw in the microwave, and I'm also making mac and cheese for the kids to go on the side because they like broccoli, they like mac and cheese, they like steak, they don't like baked potato. It's fine. They don't have to eat a baked potato. The lovely thing about mac and cheese and potatoes is they retain heat. So your potatoes, wrap them in foil when they're done, they will retain heat. Mac and cheese, pop a lid on it, it will retain heat. The steak, if you start cooking it now, you will overcook it. My broccoli is done, my potatoes are done, my mac and cheese is almost done, so it's time for us to start our steak. I forgot what we were cooking. I'm gonna let the noodles start to melt that butter while I get my pan hot. This pan. I'm gonna let it get hot. I want it to be hot before I put my steak in. No. The steak and mac and cheese will be separate. And it'll be separate from the broccoli too, so you can have it all not touching, okay? My pan is good and hot. I'm going to throw my steak in and then not touch it. I'm going to let it sit for 2 minutes and then flip it over. The idea here is we are going to develop a crust and then flip it over. And while that's searing, you can make your mac and cheese if you're making mac and cheese with your steak bites. It has been approximately 2 minutes. I'm going to give my steak a flip. Give it another 2-ish minutes until it looks right. I don't know. It should take no more than like 6 minutes from the time it hits the pan until you're adding butter. This much. Turn it down to low, and then I'm going to add garlic. Be better than me. Don't use jarlic. Use real garlic. Seriously. Every night it's like I'm surprised that I'm also making dinner and I don't have the right ingredients. I'm just gonna toss this around and let that butter melt and coat my steak bites, and then it's time to plate it up. And there you have it, garlic butter steak bites, baked potato, broccoli, and a little bit of mac and cheese. And I know what you're thinking, is it even good? And really, you're only wondering that about the garlic butter steak bites, right? So let's give them a taste. That looks pretty good. Oh, and it tastes good too. That is so good, but of course it's good. I made it. Follow along for more aggressive tutorials. Good time, guys.